5 years ago, anxiety took hold of and broke Rob Atkins, the once tough as nails Australian soldier and police officer. His illness became so bad, he ended up in a psychiatric hospital twice. He took massive amounts of medication and underwent intensive counselling. Now an unlikely solution is giving him his life back.
Dress.
Last year, Rob became one of the first patients in Australia to be teamed up with a highly trained anxiety assistance dog.
Come here.
Jimmy can literally sense Rob's panic and knows just what to do when it gets out of control.
When was the last time that happened?
4 days ago in a shopping centre down the road here.
What'd you do?
He sensed that I was getting more and more agitated because as I was starting to breathe heavier and my legs starting to shake, he popped up, stuck his head onto my lap, pushed into my stomach, and then eventually, Jimmy, up. This is what he did in the muffin break coffee shop. Good boy, good boy. It's okay, I'm all right. I'm okay, Jimmy, visit. So as I'm getting more and more wound up, he nudged into me, and as I didn't respond to him, he ended up jumping up on me.
And that calms you down.
It's the classic slap across the face, come back to us. He brings me back to the present. So I'm like, get out, leave me. Oh yeah, okay, thanks Jimmy.
Jimmy's not just Rob's best friend, he's become his lifesaver. 6 months ago, Rob hit rock bottom. His anxiety spiralled into suicidal thoughts, and Jimmy knew his master was at breaking point.
And and he basically stuck his head over the crux of my arm, gave me just a bit of a lick, and then just put his weight on me.
What a story. Man's best friend, in your case Jimmy, literally, physically saved your life.
Absolutely. It's just that when your mate sits there and goes to you, "Hey, snap out of it, idiot, come with me." Yeah.
We all know what it feels like to be anxious.
Yep.
But most of us don't know what it feels like to be severely anxious, where it is crippling.
Yep. Well, I think in many of its most severe forms, people simply cannot function. They can't leave their own houses. Their worlds shrink and shrink. They become more nervous about engaging with their social networks. They can withdraw from people due to the fear of the stigma attached to it, and it can shrink their world to just about nothing.
Terrible way to live. Debilitating.
Yeah. Oh, hugely, hugely debilitating. Back here at what we call your external occipital protuberance.
In English?
The little bobbly bit at the back of your skull.
At Curtin University in Perth, not knowing enough about anxiety has led Dr. Patrick Clark to some groundbreaking research. He's the first in Australia to use a mix of brain training and neurostimulation.
Tingling, itchy type sensation.
And he thinks it's the key to treatment. His aim is to discover whether my brain can be convinced to concentrate more on happy images from a simple brain training exercise.
This can be changing their pattern of attention for it to work. It can occur.
At the same time, a low electrical current stimulates the part of my brain responsible for calming us down when we feel anxious. And what are you seeing? Are you seeing anxious people suddenly become less anxious?
What we are finding is very encouraging results suggesting that it can help change, I guess, the patterns of thinking and cognition that we know characterise anxiety, and so help decrease and regulate those levels of anxiety.
Dr. Clark's research is added encouragement for people like Rob, his wife Christy, and their 3 sons, who have all suffered throughout Rob's illness.
And what's kept you going?
Love, I suppose.
That old saying, love is unconditional.
Yeah, and sickness, yeah. But it's been a very, very long road.
Maybe date night's your next step, but Jimmy's got to come along.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy sleeps with us.
He sneaks up sometimes in the middle of the night, he does.
He does.
What's it cost you, this severe anxiety?
It's nearly cost me my life. It's nearly cost me my family. I don't know what level of damage it's done to my kids, to be honest.
The Atkins family has just moved to the outskirts of Bendigo to help Rob find a quieter life. He says with his family and Jimmy's help, his medication has reduced dramatically and he's finally finding some peace.
Jimmy, will you come up here and say hello to me? You're amazing. You are amazing. You are amazing. And all the viewers will say that. Just magnificent. What a thrill to meet a dog like this and how it's helping you.
He's managed to get me out and about, and
Got to learn some table manners.
he's a Labrador, they have none.
Yeah, sure.
Today, there's good news too for Megan Barrow and Sarah Wilson. Both are successfully managing their own anxiety. Sarah has even written a book about living with her illness. Are you finding a good way?
Yeah, a good way, that's a good way of putting it. It is a good way. Is it perfect? Is it smooth? No. It's up and down all the time, but that's my life.
And there's one more reason to celebrate.
Just ignore it. You have to acknowledge it when you have a 33-kilo Labrador sitting on you. Good boy.
Rob's best mate Jimmy
Smile, Dad.
has now officially graduated from puppy training school.
So where do you hope to land?
I just want to have my kids not scared of me anymore. That's where I hope to land, just being a decent father again.